What is up, you lovely beautiful people? How are you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. Just outside Westfield Terrace coffee shop here called Tampa. Does beautiful coffee, absolutely beautiful coffee. New Zealand owned, home of the flat white. So I've been having a few flat whites here, and it is about 9:30 in the AM. And yesterday I filmed the video. Yeah, let's get going. Let's get going. I'm still on the big fat wheel, as you can see there. Still playing with this. Definitely good for this commute to work. So I filmed the video yesterday along the canals home from work, and I just got the footage back, and it's a little bit dark. Still wanted to post it though, just to show you guys that you can ride in, I guess, low light conditions on these wheels, because the front headlight on this Inmotion is pretty awesome. I just wanted to film it during the day because it is quite a cool little ride, and goes to show that you can use these things. I know you're probably aware that you can, but it's nice to show you using these Inmotion or these EUCs as a thing to commute to and from work. And here we are, we're going to commute into work. It's about a 4-mile ride. Should take me around about 20 minutes, a little bit more because we're coming straight from the coffee shop. And we're here, still here in Sheffield, and we leave tomorrow. We're off to London. All right, so let me just pop you here on my GoPro backpack so we can focus on riding. Whoop, switch around. Hopefully we can clip you in easy without too much bother. So following the tram lines. I have to stop here for a second. Oh no, we're in, clipped in, we're good. Okay, hands free. We're in the wrist guards. I've seen these on Amazon, and I thought I was getting the ones where you get a bit of hard plastic that sort of comes up here. I thought I was getting them, but actually I'm pretty happy. I've got these more minimalistic style ones, kind of like gloves, and you can actually, I just keep them on. So at the coffee shop there I had my coffee, just kept them on. Quite comfy really. But what a beautiful day it is, absolutely beautiful. Sunday. Yeah, they've got a cathedral here, Sheffield's Cathedral. Yeah, lovely day to ride into work along the crazy off-road canal trail. Yeah, yesterday when I rode in on this new wheel, this new off-road wheel. Okay, so just talk about the pedestrian there. Yeah, look, I am on the pedestrian walkway here. I am taking my time, and I'm giving way to all the pedestrians. They all have right of way, and like everything, just assume everything is going to stop or do something completely weird, like that lady there. Especially being on these, people just don't know what it is. They see a human being floating down the street, and a lot of people just move out the way. They treat it like a cyclist, but that lady there happens all the time. She just didn't know what to do. And there's that old, you know, you've heard of fight or flight, and there's another one you may not have heard of, is freeze. Fight, flight or freeze. And she chose to freeze. So he's got to be really careful, be really mindful. I think a lot of the chit chat, one of the most asked questions so far on my videos I've been putting up is talking about the laws in and around the UK on this wheel. Let's jump on the train, I'll get off the pedestrian walkway there. Yeah, the laws here, and I may as well just talk about it real quick. Honestly, I've had absolutely no trouble from any police whatsoever. Police car drove past me yesterday on the way home. They said nothing. I've actually had police stop and have a chat to me. That's happened on a few occasions, and they were pretty cool with it. They didn't even at once mention once mention like the laws and you shouldn't be doing this, or you should be doing this. So going up on that thing there. So yeah, it seems fine. Everyone seems pretty happy with it. So that's all I can really go off, really. I have looked into it, and you know, things do come up about you know, you should only use it on private land, this and this, it shouldn't be out in the public. And then there's things about bikes, over 250 watt batteries aren't allowed to be on the roads and stuff like that. But you know, the way I see it, and I think I mentioned this to someone who commented, is like right now, if you want to get one of these wheels and you're worried about the laws, look at everybody else using them right now with no trouble whatsoever. You know, no one's getting fined, no one's getting stopped. I feel like right now is the time to get one because of that. Let's pop off this curb here, get across this road. Whoop. So we're hitting up the canals. Yeah, so right now is the time to get one. So if you're in doubt and you're worried about the laws, honestly, I've been to Glasgow. So we did Glasgow, Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester, Nottingham and Sheffield. So I've been to 6 big major cities in the UK so far, and I've not even once had a whiff of any form of being told off, or you know, being threatened with a fine or getting it confiscated, that sort of stuff. So because of how, whatever it is, whether it's a law or there's no law, it's just sort of a grey area right now, and now is the time to take advantage of that, because you know, I want to be optimistic, and hopefully whatever laws do come out, because there's going to have to be laws, because there's certainly more and more electrical modes of transport coming out every year. Companies coming up just selling electrical bikes and that sort of stuff, like these one wheels. And the one wheel, you know, the electric skateboards. Boosted's new one, their little boosted board mini. Certainly more people are going to be attracted to that. I was attracted to it before I got this one. So laws are going to come in place, and we can only hope that they'll be optimistic with it, and we'll still be able to ride these things on the road like a bike, basically, without any sort of, I don't know, tax or that sort of stuff. So whilst there is no laws, and whilst no one's getting fined, get on it now, enjoy it now. It's such a niche thing, nobody is doing it. I've not come across one other person in the UK from all those 6 major cities. I've never come across anybody on one of these yet. I know in London I've found a Facebook page. There's a, oh, this is a small bridge. Found a Facebook page, look how close the water is, of other EUC riders. And when I was in London, so let's say 7, because I did take it to London briefly, and I did ride right through the city there. I didn't get stopped again. Actually, nobody even batted an eyelid. Nobody even turned a head. They're just so used to it, really. So they've obviously seen stuff before. And I have actually bumped into a few people who've sort of been in Liverpool, and they're like, yeah, you know, we're from London and we see people on these all the time. So certainly on the major city, we've got more people riding them. So the message is, get one now whilst you can ride it without any qualms, without any worries, because you just don't know. We can only be optimistic and say that in the future we'll be alright and we can just ride them around like this. But you know, there is always that possibility of someone deciding, no, these are dangerous to pedestrians, this and this, and we'll just ban them completely. But on a positive note, I reckon it'll be alright. Go out, get yourself an EUC now. Honestly, it's life-changing things. If you're procrastinating about it and you can't justify the price, you know, I understand these things are not cheap. It took me a while to get involved. And let's get past this dog. Excuse me, mate. It's a lovely dog. A greyhound. So pedestrians here. Good morning. Whoop. How you going? Thank you. Yeah, honestly, the price of these things certainly reflect on how incredibly well made they are. They are not a toy. So look at these bumps here. Whoa. Yeah, they are not a toy. They are a mode of transport. They really are an incredible piece of engineering. So it reflects that, and you will have this thing for a very long time. And I know I'm not that aware of all the other. Oh my, this is what I'm talking about. Oh my god, let me get some footage of this crazy stuff. So I just put the GoPro Session on the pole here, so I've got you on my backpack. I did have it on the helmet yesterday, but I thought I'd try it on the pole to get some different angles, keep you guys entertained, and it's fun. Let's have a look. What was I saying? Losing my trail of thought. To focus, really. This, honestly, you can't really go that fast. Oh, you probably could. I mean, obviously you could, but look how close the water is there. Certainly do not want to be going in that. Yeah, these things, so the batteries, so with the Inmotion V8, as I had it open many times now, it's really easy to disconnect a few things and replace the battery, you know, because the battery will only last so many charges. Oh, I do remember this bit yesterday. It was pretty tricky. Yeah, so it'll only last a number of charges. So you know, eventually, after about a year or so, I say yeah, I think it's like 600 charges, no, 1,000 charges. I don't know. It's ridiculous. And so is this little bit of bridge thing here. Oh, that's scary. That was scary. That was definitely scary. So yeah, eventually you will have to replace the battery, which I don't think it's a bad thing. Not at all. It's just amazing that the unit will last that long, and the mechanics of it will just keep on going because it's all brushless. There's no friction. You know, you're gonna have to replace your tyre and inner tubes, like anything really, just maintenance, like any bike, any car. Look after it. But this new tyre, it's so spongy on the corners. I'm finding in the city you can't take sharp corners. Like it's just not as responsive. And I checked the wheel out last night, and the way that it's designed, it has this really sharp edge that runs sort of like this, like that, on the sides. So this is the inner tube, and it's more of a slick tyre. You can definitely feel that hard edge on the side. So when you inflate it, it really allows you to really take those corners sharp, which I really like, because you can really avoid anything on the road, you know, cars and people just decide to step out, which happens constantly. You know, when you're on the bike, constantly going through traffic, people just step out, not looking where they're going, they're on their phones. People are less aware now these days, these phone devices, you know. I do it, not as much as that, but people's heads are down, looking down. Whoop. Oh goodness. Ugh. So yeah, it's a bit spongier, but for trails like this, it's absolutely awesome. You know, certainly feel like I can certainly feel more tread on the ground, because I'm not doing any crazy sharp turns. It's actually like this right now is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. We are just going for it, and it's a lot more forgiving as well. So if you do catch a bump or a branch or something like this little bit here, ugh, it's a bit softer. The tyre has to be a little bit softer. I'm hoping that the more I use it, you lose a bit of tread and I can just inflate it a bit more. Because like I said yesterday, at the moment we don't have any more room for any more inflation. So it is what it is right now. Go through these little puddles. Now I am going to work on this review video, and I'm coming close now to 1,000 kilometers on this thing. I think I went to 1,000, and I was going to do a full-on review video with loads of B-roll footage of me. Oh no, I think, oh, I hope you guys are still there. You're probably in the dark. I'll just turn on the thing here, because oh no, SD card is full. Give me a second, I'll be back. Hello friends, so unfortunately I just completely messed up my SD card situation there on the way to work, so I don't have any more footage from the remainder of that trip. Luckily it was literally just up the road, so you didn't miss out on a lot. Hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed making it. That tyre is awesome for off-road, and also those reflections are pretty sweet along that canal there that morning. Beautiful stuff. Alright guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Leave me some comments, let me know how you do, let me know what you think of the wheel and the videos. I'll see you next time. Live, laugh and love. Peace. Okay, we should be back on. Mic check 1 2. Hopefully this is good. Should be recording.